Hello, everyone, and welcome to 1923 Main Street.
Home of the Daddy-Daughter Disney Travel Podcast. We are your hosts.
I am Mike Belobradic.
And I'm Amelia Belobradic. And today we're going to be talking about our experiences of getting things you want at Walt Disney World.
Especially when you don't think you can get them.
Or when you're trying to prove others wrong. That's the best.
Exactly. It's not trying to prove others wrong as much as using these as examples.
Oh, you actually want the stuff? Oh, well, I guess that too.
Now, you're probably wondering, what the heck are they talking about? So, really, this episode came up because we are in vacation planning mode. Next week on the show, just to give you a little tip, we are going to be talking about the COVID-era vacation planning experience. And then we're going to follow that up with our trip report. But for now, we are going to talk about how to get things you want when you don't think you can get them. And to show you what we mean, why don't we just jump right in with a real-life example? Let's start with a common thing that may occur to you and what you may not do, but you should do.
When you're trying to book something.
We did a whole episode on what to do when things go wrong on a Walt Disney World vacation.
This is not necessarily something going wrong, but something not being able to happen at all.
Yeah, and there are many examples. We had some friends over yesterday, a big Disney traveler among them, as many of our friends are, but not all. And she was talking about an example where, and here, we're just going to jump right in with this example, where she was guaranteed by them, they had their, not sure if it's running now, but they're, you buy things.
I don't think it is.
And they deliver it to your room for you. And they give you a guaranteed time, or they used to. Well, in this case, this individual needed this item as a gift for a dinner that was booked with some very important people. And the package did not arrive. And they were getting ready to head out to their dinner, and they were rather upset. So instead of doing nothing, you should always let Disney know. I mean, I would say complain.
Yeah.
But it's not really complaining.
Yeah. It's asking kindly for them to fix something.
Yeah. First of all, if rule number one, if you don't bring it to their attention, well,
how can they know?
How can they know and how can they help you? So this individual was staying at the Grand Floridian. I can't recall if she spoke to the front desk or the concierge, but she explained politely, but with some angst that I really need these things. It's important. Your service guaranteed it. I trusted that service. I could have carried the stuff myself. And now I'm going without a gift to a very important meeting where I really need it. So to their credit, she told us the tale. This individual hopped on the monorail. I think it was at the Contemporary. They were staying at the Grand Floridian. Hopped on the monorail, asked them what they needed specifically out of that order. Went to the Polynesian, picked up the goods.
This was a cast member.
Yeah, cast member. Basically did the monorail loop and brought that gift back in time. And, that's the kind of service. Cast members are different.
Yeah, but more often than not, cast members, they want to help you. That's their job. And as long as you're polite to them, they will want to help you.
Yeah, if you're polite to them, exactly. You catch more bees with honey, as that saying goes. I don't really
Never
know
heard
what that means.
But okay.
How do you catch bees with their own honey? But anyway.
Because they're attracted to it, and it's nice and sweet. And
they make it, so.
Yeah, but they want sweet things. That's like why they come to the desserts and stuff in the August.
All right, I guess that's the way it goes. So why don't we just say you can catch more bees with sweet things?
Welcome to another episode of Amelia Explains Common Sayings.
All right. Anyway, hey, we should do one on Disney sayings. It's just an idea. But anyway, so if something goes wrong and you want to get what you need, in this case, be sure to tell them. And there's a little bonus to doing this as well, as we have found over time. You just want to raise the issue, and they will, in most cases, try to make it. So we were once staying at Wilderness Lodge, and it was
the first time too.
Was it our very first time staying?
It was my first time.
No, it was your first time. But anyway, and it was supposed to have been a renovated room. Well, the couch, we needed to use the pull-out couch. And we pulled it out, and it looked like the beast had been in there, and it was ripped to shreds.
It looks like a Hotel 6.
It did. This looked like the cheapest of cheap motels. I mean, this is part of one of the many bad experiences we've had at Wilderness Lodge, so we don't stay there anymore. We do love the resort itself. I love the ambiance. We love dining there. We like the grounds.
Although they are getting a renovation.
Yeah, well, they need a big refurb. They've done some
That's
refurb
true.
since then. But anyway, we also find the pool's undersized and all that. We've talked about that before. But we do like Wilderness Lodge, but we didn't like that experience. So, of course, if that happens, let them know, right? They can't fix that. And I was upset because it's,
Yeah.
it is a deluxe resort.
You do pay a decent amount of money
Yeah.
to stay there.
I mean, really, it shouldn't happen at Pop Century either, but
Well, yeah.
But they did try to make it right, and they do what they typically do. So they used to give you free fast passes and stuff, which I'm not sure what they're doing now. But they seem to be $75 seems to be their entry point for giving you a $75 room credit. So they did do that for us there.
I got a doll.
It's really not what we were asking for. In fact, at the desk, I remember the manager kept saying, well, what do you want? As if I was trying to get something for free. And I kept saying, I don't want anything except a room that doesn't have a ripped furniture in it, right? So I was really not trying to get stuff for free. We've never done this to try to get stuff for free.
It's never the goal.
I guess you could try doing that, but we're not those kind of people. And I was telling him that. I go, I don't want anything except the room to be nice, right? As it should be. So the bottom line is they obviously couldn't pull a couch in. They couldn't move us because it was booked solid. Because we also said, well, move us somewhere, right?
And what could they do?
Yeah, the hotel was just booked. So they did give us a credit and stuff. I mean, I still wasn't happy about it, but
they tried their best.
They did, at least they did something. And they
don't
did the
have
best
magical, ooh, let me wave fairy godmother's wand and here's a brand new couch.
Well, they should. They should have a room full of couches in the back. But anyway, just kidding. They did try to help. So bottom line is, you've got to ask. So how to get the things you want when something goes wrong, definitely ask. And another one, I want to move on to the next one because this one is fairly current right now. So we're going to talk about our Disney vacation planning experience in detail next week. But part of it, I want to use the VIP tour as an example.
It's just a good example, actually.
Yeah, because there's no fast passes right now. And they recently added Rise of the Resistance to VIP tour so that you can now get on that attraction. So for our trip coming up, we thought, you know what? We've done a few VIP tours in the past. Let's try to get a VIP tour. Well, the rest of the world is thinking this, even though these things are very expensive. So we couldn't get one. They're booked solid. And I'm going, are you kidding? They're booked solid for the whole week we're there. And
surprisingly, but yes.
And I thought, what are there, like 10 tour guides, 10 plaids? But apparently there's at least 60 running right now, and they're hiring more. So it's pretty busy. They make a hefty profit off this, no doubt.
Well, especially with no fast passes, it's kind of worth it.
But in COVID era, no fast passes. We don't want to wait in lines and all that sort of stuff. So
we never want to wait in lines.
But anyway, I phone and they say, I'm sorry, it's booked every day. And I said, well, is there a wait list? And they said, yes, but the wait list is booked.
Still being polite, I might add. Like, none of them are rude.
So, knowing as I do from things over the years, I'm just going to phone back. Not right away. You can do that. But I decided I'm going to phone every day or every other day and just keep asking. So I phoned again the next day and I got a different cast member and she said, the first cast member told me there was no wait list. That's what he said. Oh no, the first one said there's a wait list, but even the wait list is full.
Yeah, how many people are applying for these tours? Like
the next day, different cast member, because the first one was a woman, second one was a man. He said, no, we aren't keeping wait lists right now. And I said, oh, well, that's funny. But anyway, the bottom line was it was still booked solid. So then I let a day go. I thought, okay, I'll wait a couple of days. I phoned back the next day, and lo and behold, I do get a VIP tour. I get it for our
only
last
3 days?
Yeah, 4 days, 3 calls.
Yeah.
This person told me there are wait lists, and the wait lists are full, but you know what? I've got an opening here. So he put me in.
How? How did he do that?
I think it's just being polite and calling. And here's why I'm talking about this, because I was on one of the chat boards for Disney Travel, and this discussion came up, and I had said when I first started this, I'm going to just keep phoning. And then someone had responded, oh, good luck with that. That's not going to work at all. If you just keep phoning, you're not going to get it. They're going to go through the wait list, blah, blah, blah. Well, no, I'll tell you from fact. That is not true, and it happened right here. And I posted back politely. I said, well, I did actually get one by phoning almost every day. So The moral of the story is, and I've done this a lot with many things on Disney travel,
Phone politely.
phone politely, be persistent. You just never know who you're going to get.
Yeah. Because being persistent isn't being annoying.
Exactly. You're polite, I'm phoning. And you know what? You really do. Part of this, I think, is counting on getting a different person every day because different cast members in a different mood on a different day.
Or some of them might have different jurisdictions as well.
Yeah, that's true. They do. I know they do for magical moments in the parks. And it's just maybe they've been having a crappy day and suddenly you're very nice and polite, even if they're telling you no. There's so many variables that the bottom line is how to get things you want. Phone. If you sit back and just wait, you may or may not get it. I'm not a sit back and wait person. I'm not an obnoxious person either because just like the bee and honey thing, if
There's
you're
a middle.
rude, you're definitely not going to get it.
Yeah, if you give the bees poison honey.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking entitled, if you're getting into, I pay thousands, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
well,
so does a lot of people that go to Disney
so
World.
does every person there. So that is not going to get you anywhere. Pretty much guaranteed in this situation. So be nice, but be persistent. It's not even persistent. I just keep phoning because I know what's it cost me? 30 seconds. And if I get the right person on the right day, so we got it. And this was another example. That's why I wanted to bring it up because it just happened a couple of weeks ago by doing what we're talking about today on the show that, hey, try these things if you hadn't. Here's another one it works on. And, all these things, again, it was these same groups. Oh, that's not going to work. You're never going to get it. Well, yes, we do almost all the time. And then they said, well, anyway, I'm not going to go into the whole discussions, but I'm talking now about room requests.
These are actually a lot of people. I don't even know if it's very popular that you can make them because they don't advertise that anywhere because then they'd get thousands of requests and it'd be very hard to accommodate, but you can. And it's easier to ask for, I think, specific rooms too than just in a general area. At least for us, we tend to get specific rooms when we do ask for them as well.
We're going to share with you our strategy for this because there's many know-it-all people who, well, I guarantee you it's not going to work, and if you ask for a specific room, that's going to work against you. Well, all I know is what works for us. We've been traveling a lot, many weeks a year for many, many years, so
we've gotten specific rooms many times as well.
Always make a room request. So, we travel a lot, so we pretty much have, if not a favorite room number, a favorite area or something, or whatever is within your view. Yeah. If you have garden view at the Polynesian, well, there's certain rooms that we would recommend or buildings we would recommend. You look them up online, right? Yeah. There's tons of posts about best rooms here and there. But the point is, if you don't put a room request, well, you're just leaving it up to them. And what's going to happen, all things being equal, if you're the only one without, you're going to get the crappy room. Maybe. I mean, sometimes you get good ones, but don't leave it to chance.
No rooms suck, but...
And so first of all, make the request. If we have a favorite room, we will request a specific room and then add or
3 to the left and 3 to the right.
Yeah, something in that area. And what's really cool is the cast members on the phone that I've talked to tell me how to word things so that they'll be more likely, they'll know exactly what you want and they'll be more likely to assist you. So she said, okay, I said, I want this, that. And she said, okay, say it like this. I'll write it down like this. Do not fax these requests in. That, first of all, that's like 1980, but no one's reading faxes. So phone the room requests in, whether it's DVC member services or Disney Travel, you're booking direct. It doesn't matter. Phone the request in and you'll hear them typing it in. So 100% it's on your file. Yes, there is no guarantee you'll get it. And sometimes we don't, but that's when they'll also help you and tell you how to word things. And there was a time, 2 or 3 years in a row, we got the exact same room because we requested it, the Grand Floridian, the exact one. And the one time we didn't get it, even on the next year, they gave us the same room, but 1 floor down. So we wanted, this was in the villas.
Oh, yeah.
There's 5 floors. We like the top floor, but they gave us that room in the 4th floor, which we liked.
Yeah, which is still not bad.
Great. So they really do try.
Yeah. And they might not always be able to get it because maybe someone else is in that room and they're not. But they can always try, and they can always try to accommodate you, even if it's not specifically what you want. You might get something similar, right? They always do try their best as long as you're polite.
And here's my other thing about this. I never check in early.
Yeah.
So I never do advanced check-in. When they say check-in now through
Or
the
like
app or
mobile
online.
check-in?
Yeah.
No.
I don't do that because...
You think you're going to get stuff you want through a computer?
Yeah,
No.
I like to actually go to the desk and talk to them, specifically because I always have a specific room or area in mind, or floor if it's Bay Lake Tower,
Yeah.
floor and view. I mean, Lake View at Bay Lake Tower, for example, or even the Contemporary. Well, there's tons of different rooms that are all Bay Lake View, but you don't want to be near Chef Mickey's if you're in the Contemporary.
Oh.
You want to be the other end and up high. So
Yeah.
they're very specific things, even within a category. So I do it in person at check-in because I will ask them first. Sometimes if the room's not ready, they won't tell you the room number, right? But I'll say,
Yeah.
well, is it close to our request? They'll tell me that. And if they say no, then I'll ask them.
Yeah. Can we wait to get a different room?
Yeah, so basically you have a second shot at the room request. That's why I don't check in early. And then that's what they always say.
Because we don't mind waiting a little bit to
they'll
get a
say-
room that we're going to stay in nicely,
And they'll
right?
look and they'll phone the floor. They're really good, right? Disney cast members. Again,
Yeah.
if you're nice to them. And they'll say, okay, you can get it, but the crappy room we were going to give you is ready. But
Yeah, I'll wait an hour
But-
for another week of good times.
yeah, so we'll wait. So we do wait to get
Yeah.
a room. So I would say if someone pressed me, what percentage? I would say, higher. I'd say 85% of the time we get our request or
or near
something
there.
that's happy
Yeah.
for us.
I was gonna say probably like 60 or 70, we get like the exact room.
Yeah, and we request all the time.
Yeah.
So definitely do room requests.
Yeah, because especially for me, it sort of depends how long you're staying there. Like if you're staying at the Grand for maybe one night, it wouldn't matter as much as if you were staying probably for like 6 nights, and then you might care more. But even so,
Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So in our upcoming stay that we're going to talk about,
Yeah.
Amelia wanted to stay one night at the Grand Floridian because we do love it, but because it's COVID, we want it to be in a Polynesian bungalow. So we are only staying one night in a Grand Floridian villa, 2-bedroom villa for 3 of us, so that'll be fun. But I didn't even bother with a room request. I did. I just said upper floor, but
Yeah.
I don't even care because it's one night.
Uh-huh.
Whereas the Polynesian, we have a specific bungalow,
Yeah.
and we're going to see how close we get.
we'll report how close we
We will
got.
report back on our trip report how this all
Yes.
went to tell you if we did get upper floor and if we did get our bungalow. I probably should have said ground level so we don't have to use the elevator. But anyway,
For what at the?
at the Grand Floridian.
No. Ground level, no.
And along these same lines, very similar, is Disney dining. And I'm going to talk about this more next week. But the point is, if you can't get the restaurant you want right away for whatever reason, and this is pre-COVID even, if it's popular, keep trying.
Yeah, because sometimes there's last minute cancellations,
Yeah.
or even like with fast passes or other things on the day. I know they're not running right now, but if you refresh, someone might have canceled because they don't want to get like a black mark on their record or whatever you get when you miss a dining reservation or a fast pass.
If you don't,
Yeah.
So let's unpack it a bit.
Yeah.
In this case, I'm not talking about phoning, although you could try.
Yeah.
Because sometimes cast members have access to different inventory. But if you just go on the app
The My Disney
and
experience.
continue checking for restaurants, people do cancel for tons of reasons. So their odds are whatever they are, but we've had very good luck. And I'm talking even when we're there.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
like we're on site.
I've heard stories of people in Hollywood getting a fast pass for Rockin' the same day. They're there.
We got Fast Pass for Slinky Dog when it just opened.
Yeah.
We couldn't get one at all because it had literally opened a month before.
Uh-huh.
I remember we were sitting in our room. We'd done our parks, but we had Park Hopper, as we talked about in our last episode. And I went, holy crap.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
about 6 at night. I go, I just got Slinky Dog. So boom, in an hour. So off we went to Hollywood to ride Slinky Dog because a Fast Pass just popped up out of the blue because I kept trying.
And then those bus made us miss it.
We got the Fast Pass. So just keep trying how to get things you want. Don't give up. Yeah, there's a bit of effort. I mean, I'm not talking about refreshing every second.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I'll try once a day or whatever, whenever it allows me.
Yeah.
And the same as Amelia said, when Fast Pass, who knows what's going to happen with Fast Passes, but we've had the same sort of luck as I just talked about with Slinky Dog. But Oga's Cantina, we got that. You know, you can get that the same way. Things that are just otherwise unbookable, spots do open up, and someone's going to get them, so it may as well be you.
But although I do wonder if, for example, if you're riding the Skyliner, could you request to have a car to yourself? Would that be something you could? Would that be something you could
No,
do?
I don't think they'll do that on the Skyliner or any. It's like on the monorail.
Oh.
They just want to put people in. Those
Yeah.
aren't reservations.
Yeah, no, that's slightly different. I was just
All these things we're talking about have to do with some type of reservation.
Well, here's my question for you because you've gone a lot according to yourself. What's the most obscure thing? Well, not obscure, but what's the hardest thing that you got by refreshing, and what was hardest for you to get or most exciting that you got? I'm wording this terribly.
Probably this VIP tour.
Because I don't
this most recent one, because, you know, we really, really wanted it for a whole bunch of reasons. Normally I wouldn't care, but just we'll talk about this next week in our show. But
I don't think we've ever done a VIP tour.
And they're limited,
Orlando.
right? It's very limited because there's only so many plaids, so many tour guides.
Yeah, and
We've done VIP tours.
No, in Orlando.
Oh, maybe you have not. You mean at Walt Disney World versus Disneyland?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So, well, it's a different experience, too, as you're going to see. In fact, I find them better in Walt Disney World, but we'll see how this one goes. It'll be extra
Maybe
experience.
I'm just forgetting.
This will all be in our trip report. But the point is, I did want to add one other point before my point is. Lots of points here. Sometimes you get these bonus extras. They're almost magical moments. This sort of goes back to our first example about the room where they put the $75 room credit on.
You can't really ask for that. Right?
You
can't go
can't.
fishing for these things.
But I'm just saying, sometimes when you're just trying to get what you want and you're being polite, if you are polite, if you're polite, someone does want to help you. They're a cast member. If you get the right person, they've had a bad day and suddenly there's a nice person here, they want to be nice to you. They want to do well.
Yeah.
And you will sometimes get those magical extras as a result of that. So that's even a bonus for us when things like that happen. So definitely don't let anything go. Try it if you're not that type of person naturally, like I am in our family. And pretty much most of my family is like that. My sister, well, not most, but there's one sister who's very much like me. We'll try to get what we want in a nice way. I guess it is a little persistent, but not persistent in bugging people. Just
not being obnoxious.
Just persistent in terms of remembering to try every day until you get what you want. And it doesn't work out. It's not like the rooms. I would say it doesn't always work out, but
it's worth the try.
But
you don't
it's
lose
more
anything.
than 50%. I mean, more often than not, I'll get whatever I'm trying to get for us by just trying. Continue to try.
And I can't even think of an example where you would lose anything from not requesting.
Yeah, there's nothing to lose but your time in making the effort to try to get it. So definitely for any time, and there's probably stuff we have in golf times, whatever it is that you can't get, just know that if you keep trying, times for whatever it is will open up and you will have a good shot at getting it.
And the moral of the story is be nice to cast members.
Yeah, as always, especially now.
But not necessarily trying to get something. Just always be nice to cast members.
Yeah, just be nice. Try to not get stressed or don't let the...
You can't say not get
there's
stressed.
always those people at Disney, so try not to let them pull you down is sort of what I was getting at.
Try not to be those people.
Well, don't be those people, but also don't let them pull you down. And I'm saying that, but it's hard for me sometimes to just go, don't say anything, let it go. Or tell a cast member if you really tell on them, tattletale.
Yeah, be a fourth grader.
Yeah,
it's
be
fun,
a fourth
guys.
Grader at Disney. Well, actually, that would be fun. All right, everyone. We hope this sort of helped you to, especially in these times when things are tough to get, don't give up so easily. There is hope. I'm telling you right now, with some of the examples I gave you today, I have 100% had success in getting things that some people will tell you online, oh, you're never going to get, and it doesn't matter if you phone every day. If it's full, it's full. Well,
you're wrong.
You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So be polite, phone. Odds are you're not getting the same person anyway.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get...
There's a lot of cast members
there's a lot of cast members answering these calls. And you may just end up making a little bit of magic for yourself by being a little bit persistent, trying to get what you want. So give it a try. Let us know some of your examples where people told you it can't be done and you tried and you got it, like we just did with this VIP tour.
Yes.
Love to hear those stories on social media this week. Follow along with us at 1923 Main Street on pretty much every social media channel, except Snap. We're not on there. Not yet. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. As always, we really appreciate it. Love having you along for the ride. Tell us your show ideas if you have any. We love hearing those too. And we'll see you again next week with our Disney planning in COVID tips and advice and experience. So have a magical week.
Bye-bye.